And gentlemen, I am your host, Devontae Colonel, and today we're going to be having another episode here at the Inspired Challenge Podcast. And on today's episode, we're going to be covering the topic of attraction pillar number 3. And this one is going to be... I don't have a drum roll one. This one is going to be community. So when it comes to community, what does this mean exactly? Well, let's start with the question here. What makes a man truly attractive? Is it his looks? Is it his confidence? Or is it something deeper? The truth of the matter is, what we need to explore is community and how it can enhance a man's confidence and his attractiveness. In Proverbs 31, it describes the ideal woman. Proverbs 31 also mentions a number of lines that describes the husband of this ideal woman. Proverbs 31:23 reads, "Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land." Here's a quote from former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt, who often emphasized the importance of camaraderie and being part of a community. "The company of men, the fellowship of kindred souls, is necessary to make life worth living. A man must not merely be capable of knowing and doing by himself. He must also be capable of joining with others and of helping them to perform what they have to perform." Like I said, that's from Theodore Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt, as people know him, became an infamous in a good way, previous president. And of course, Proverbs 31, the ideal woman, lists something about essentially the ideal husband. Notice how in Proverbs 31, the ideal husband is not just someone who is living life wherever the wind takes them. It's someone that is intentional about what they're doing. He is sitting among the elders of the land. The elders of the land are supposed to be the most wise people that land has to offer. People who have been entrusted with the land because of their experience, their wisdom, and their high standing character. Which takes us into our first segment, which is the role of community in personal growth. Now, community plays a crucial role in a man's personal growth. By engaging with others, men develop essential social skills. They gain diverse perspectives and they build emotional resilience. Studies show that people with strong social networks have a 50% increased likelihood of longevity compared to those with weaker social ties. Now, Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Now, something else to consider is that when men are a part of a community, they learn from each other, they support each other, and they hold each other accountable. It's a magical word today. This kind of interaction fosters growth and maturity, and it makes them more well-rounded individuals. A way that I can think of this is the fact that there is a men's breakfast group that I go to on a regular basis. And at this men's breakfast group, there is just this ability to speak about the issues that each man has had. And these issues can be spoken about in a way that is just genuinely authentic. And by having these conversations in such an authentic manner, it allows for the men to be able to not only hear what's going on, but to offer something of value to their fellow man in this space that they typically would not be able to. So the next segment, when it comes to a man and his ability to be a part of a community, is the power of networking. So networking is often thought of as purely a business thing, but let's go deeper into what that can mean. So networking within a community opens doors to new opportunities, whether it's career advancement or the personal development. Having a strong network is invaluable. Ecclesiastes 4, verses 9 through 10 says, two are better than one. Again, that's Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 through 10 says that two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. A strong network not only helps in professional growth, but also in personal branding. A man who is well connected is often seen as resourceful and influential, and these are traits that are highly attractive. And no, networking truly is not just a code for awkwardly standing around with a plate of hors d'oeuvres. It's truly about making real connections. An example of this was a most recent business expo I went to. And at this expo, I had gotten the ability to meet up with a plethora of new people. I had met with Gabby and Basil, who I had on my show. I met with Brody, who I met and I've had on the show twice now. I met with Evangelos and Omar and a plethora of other people who I brought onto the show. And now these people are either sending me other people to interview, able to come back on, and we're able to have these significant conversations. Another person that I met at that same business expo was the gentleman by the name of Apollo, who was a videographer. And for those of you that saw that interview, he had an interest in me potentially being the host for a show he wanted to do. This was something, a door that was open because of the power of networking. Let's go ahead and get into segment 3 here, where we'll be covering emotional support and mental well-being and how community can affect that. So, emotional support from a community is essential for mental well-being. Men who have a solid support system are better equipped to handle life's challenges. Research shows that social support is linked to lower levels of stress and improved mental health. Galatians 6:2 gives this wisdom. Carry each other's burdens, and in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. Men often struggle with expressing emotions. A supportive community provides a safe environment for them to open up, share their struggles, and receive encouragement. This emotional stability is incredibly attractive. Think of your community as your personal cheerleading squad, but without the pom-poms. Unless that's your thing. No judgment here, but I can't guarantee the other parts of the internet. But when I look at my community, I look at some of the people that have been around in my church area, and these people have just been the absolute biggest singers of whether it's the podcast, whether it was any struggles I was going through. There was always just this support. There was this pouring into, and this is essential for a man to be able to have some sense of emotional stability. Let's go ahead and talk about segment 4, which is going to cover building confidence and self-esteem. Where's my page at? Oh no, am I missing the page? Uh-oh. One second, I'm missing the page. Where is that page at? And I can't believe this page is not over here. Doggone it. Four. Did I just get a double of this? I did. How did that happen? Oh man, we had such a good thing going for a while. Okay. Well, continuing on here. So, segment 4 involves building confidence and self-esteem. So, it's no surprise that recognition and validation from a community can boost a man's confidence and self-esteem. When men feel valued and they feel appreciated, they can exude a positive and attractive energy. Now, according to research, people with high self-esteem are more likely to succeed in their personal and professional lives. Romans 12, verses 4 through 5 say, "For just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ, we, though many, form one body, and each member belongs to all the others." Being part of a community where one's contributions are recognized and celebrated builds a strong sense of self-worth. Confident men are naturally more attractive because they believe in themselves and their abilities. Here's another important element. Women are naturally drawn to men who are seen more so as the prize. Those who are respected and who are admired by their peers, being part of a community that acknowledges and celebrates your achievement enhances your status and it makes you more attractive. And it's not about being just a person who exists, but it's about being someone who stands out in terms of character and in terms of follow through and reliability. Community is not just about belonging, it's about thriving. For men, being part of a community means growing, networking, receiving support, and building confidence. These factors collectively enhance a man's attractiveness, making him not just appealing, but truly captivating. Man, hate the fact of how this error happened here. What can I say? 11 shows in, it had to happen at some point. So essentially, we can see how massively important community is, and it plays a multifaceted approach when it comes to making a man more attractive, whether it's via social status, whether it's via emotional intelligence, whether it is emotional stability. Definitely make sure to go back, and though there are errors in this episode, there are certainly pieces that are worth continuing in, that are worth rewatching, fast forwarding through the errors. This has been something that I have wanted to make for a while now. And really and truly, I only scratched the surface of these topics. I would love to go deeper on this if there is some type of desire for this. So that's going to be all for now. I just wanted to do this very quickly. So I want to thank everyone for watching. I've been your host, Devontae Colonel. Thank you for joining on tonight's episode of the Inspired Challenge podcast. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. And it's supposed to be for an interview. Haven't gotten correspondence back. Hopefully I do. We'll see how it goes. If not, we'll be having another solo episode, but I'll be seeing you guys next time on the next episode of the Inspired Challenge podcast. Take care and have a great night, folks.